back again, whānau, we want to talk about the concepts of strength, often thought of as just this avenue of
training.
Training, or for bigger
For athletes.
For athletes, correct. But strength is something vital for all of us. We have a certain amount of strength required just to stand up. We have a certain amount of strength required just for our daily tasks or work. We also forget we're an animal. We're designed to move and do tasks, and we require a certain amount for that. Some of us obviously create or use more than others. Some of us are designed for more than others. But nevertheless, we also have different versions of strength, right? Some smaller people can produce massive amounts of force. We may cause that call that coordinated strength. We have relative strength, how strong we are in terms of our own body. Strength can have something to do with your ranges of motion, so your joint health, how you can produce a movemental force through a range. And we also have absolute strength, which is simply the ability to produce force.
Lift the heaviest stuff.
Lift heavy stuff, push, etc. So we want to touch on that. So strength is obviously, we all train, we all are interested in the physical component of it. We all do probably a combination of relative stuff, which we call calisthenics or body weight stuff. That's right. So push-ups, pull-ups, squats, those are the most commonly known ones. The ability to be strong with your own body. And those are great forms as well. They should not be underplayed in any way, shape. Healthy, debatably they're natural, so they can be easier on our joints. Whereas when we do absolute strength stuff, we start adding external loads. There's really no limit, so our body's kind of we can really increase you can increase the risk. But yeah, they both have a great place in this earth. Being stronger is better than being weaker. Your ability to be strong is going to be a large predictor of your longevity. As you age, often one of the worst things I see people do is reduce the stress on their body, or try to take it easy. And in a sense, all we're doing is accelerating our degeneration. If anything, as we age, we need to keep our range of motion in check. We need to stimulate our muscle mass, because it gets really hard to hold on to it when we get older. We need to do whatever we can, and by all means, lifting heavy stuff comparative to what you can do is great.
And it's a skill. Strength is a skill.
Absolutely.
A lot of people think that they can't do it because they've never done it before. It's as simple as learning the positions that your joints need to be in. You learn the joint positioning, all of a sudden you're lifting twice as much as you thought you could.
Absolutely. That's right.
That's when a coach comes in handy, or
People tend to identify with strength as well. Like some person may think that they're not a strong person, when, like you said, it's a skill. You learn it. You adapt to everything you do in your life. Every single movement that we do, whether it be getting out of bed or opening up the fridge, is a form of training. We're all physically doing something, and we're getting better and better at that thing the more we do it. So if you sat there opening your fridge all day long, you're going to be the best at opening that fridge after a fair bit of training.
And I love the feeling of like the mind-body connection. When I started doing strength training with you, because I thought I was, relatively strong, and I was body weight. It was quite good body weight awareness. But when we started doing the heavier compound lifting, I felt like my mentality gets stronger. There's just a bit more resilience with anything. It's like, this isn't stressful. Trying to get that weight up it's like you're building strength in your mind and content and character as well.
Absolutely.
Confidence just skyrockets.
Strength training is massive for the mind. Massive. So, for people who know me, they know I love lifting some tin. I love a bit of general. I like general strength. You will see me play with kettlebells, body weight activities, as well as the barbell, and hitting a bag here and there. But I believe in the full spectrum strength. But above all, it's absolutely what it can do for our mental well-being, massively. Also, you know, from a physical development perspective, if we go from a fundamental perspective, you know, Māori people were designed to be, you know, physically able people, and strength is a huge part of our culture and our development. From the games we would play as children to develop ourselves physically, to the nature of the interactions of us in a simpler context, which would involve quite physical work or warfare or movement in whatever context that looks like. Safe to say we are designed to move, and strength is just simply one component of that movement. It's effectively adding load or stress to our movement to try and make us better at it. And for our older people, you know, as we age, we're seeing a lot of things like falls.
Bone density.
Bone density. Hang on.
It's not just strengthening the muscle, it's the bones, the connective tissue. You are creating strength throughout the entire body, and especially for elderly women, it's fractures of the spine, the hips, and the wrists that are, you know, they're at the most risk after the age of 50. Strength training is going to, you know, build the density of the bones and make you, you know, prevent it. So.
Absolutely. So for all those older people out there, you probably need it the most. You know, we've seen them before. The old people who stay active, the old people who don't, you know, they don't retire. They stay, you know, they stay physically able.
They're tough. They're sharp as a whip.
Yeah,
they're
absolutely.
Usually pretty onto it.
Absolutely.
Doing a bit of exercise.
I agree that exercise competency, and not necessarily just the strength, but the exercise competency has a huge amount to do with their cognitive longevity as well.
Brain blood flow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Chance of Alzheimer's and dementia just goes down.
We also have science we have some science to back it up. The Australians, unfortunately, are a little bit more onto it in terms of research there. But they were training retirees, so 65 pluses. They were getting them to do high intensity or strength-based training with the barbell, big motor pattern movements like your deadlift, squats, and presses, heavy. And we saw a huge reduction of falls and a better quality of life. So we're talking about people entering the last part of their lives, getting more access to movement, less falls, which means less hospital time, hip replacements, etc., and a better quality of life. Another interesting little fact: it might not be the be all and end all, but one of our best predictors of longevity in the elderly is grip strength. So the strength or power of your grip is a huge predictor of your longevity, essentially, how long you're going to live. So sum it all up. Strength is not about being a gym rat and lifting weights. It can look like doing being active, which involves lifting and moving things, using your body. It can. I actually am becoming fascinated with how the Hawaiians train their men for hula, which is by stone lifting and
underwater stone carrying.
Underwood, above, under
Surface.
It's stunning. But that's another topic altogether. Stone lifting around the world, cultures have been doing that for a long time. But we safe to say that strength is an important part of our longevity, more so than anything. Not necessarily today, you don't need to worry about it as a young person, but it will help your longevity, improve your quality of life.
Don't have to go in the gym.
That's right.
Just move around, go do some gardening, go for a walk.
Damn straight. Yeah.
Play with your kids.
Chop your wood. Chop and stack your wood. Yeah.
And you'll be amazed with how fast you feel the difference.
Absolutely.
You only need to do it a couple of times and you feel something change in your body. It's like
feels a bit counterintuitive, right? Like you're using energy, but then it gives you energy.
Correct.
More energy.
Yeah.
But that balance,
we are a battery, and you can learn to create a bigger battery.
It's like you're charging it up.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Move.
Yeah.
I was also thinking of cardiovascular fitness is effectively it's total body efficiency, but it's also diaphragmatic strength and strength endurance.
Absolutely. Yeah.
If your diaphragm muscle can continue to contract and draw more oxygen into the lungs, oxygen's going to go throughout the body. Strengthen that is, you know.
Yeah. Better energy supply if you can get that oxygen around the body too. To
Absolutely.
the cells.
I believe that as Stan Efferding says, or even others, you make everything better, everything improves. You know. Absolutely. But we'll leave it there for strength for today, just because it's a huge interest of mine, and I know the boys understand
we can talk about this one for days.
The boys understand the use and benefits of it, but safe to say, it's a great tool for our well-being, for your mental state and well-being. It's good for our older people as they age. Safe to say they need it more than everyone else.
Everyone needs it.
That's right. And even to our kids, you know, don't be scared of strength training. So we get scared of weights. Okay, well, yeah, we don't need to see children lifting weights, but let them play. They are developing strength by playing. Every time that they climb a tree, every time that they have a play fight with their friends, their cousins, their siblings, every time they run around, you know, sprinting, running, jumping, that's the best development of strength for those
wrestling.
Fighting.
Rough and tumble,
man. Yeah.
I'd love to have like
I fight with my
5
daughter.
sons and just like go.
put them in a cage.
Get one.
And that's
Who's going to be the favourite today?
Even that's an interesting one, right? Like something of, this is completely off topic, but athletic development in the hierarchy of the siblings. Most often, you will tend to see the youngest will gain the most aptitude. And why? Because the physical struggle has been the greatest.
Yeah.
They also have
They got more to prove.
They've got more to prove. They've also piggybacking off the development of everyone before them.
They learn from the mistakes of every sibling above them.
And they also have to compete with people who are physically bigger and stronger with them from day one. So for all you people out there, being the youngest is the goods. Yeah.
I'm the youngest.
I'm the youngest too. Over and out.
Peace.